Good day, James. Welcome to my latest video challenge for the month of January 2023. Today I'll be building a Netflix clone using HTML and CSS. So I tell you that this is going to be a very awesome project. You do it in a very little time, then you'll be able to have a web page that looks like this. As you can see from here, we have got a Netflix clone. So without wasting your time, let's get on to the challenge. I've already done a boilerplate, which I will leave a link for you in the description to download for free, so that you are able to start off. But inside the boilerplate, I've already installed Google Fonts, and some font for font or some icons. Link to font or some icons. So let's start off by creating a header. I'm going to give it a class name of head. Then first of all, I'll have a div which shall contain the logo and the button. So I have to call it head top. So at the top, let me put some image to collect our logo. So inside the images folder, I'm going to have logo. This is our images folder. So I'm going to have a logo. It's in the PNG format. The alt text which will appear in case the logo fails to load. Then after below, let's have a hyperlink which let's just put here, and let's create a class. I'll call it btn. Then second class name, I'll call it btn rounded. Then let me just cut the text and place it where it belongs. Okay, this text that belongs there. So now below the div for the head, I'm going to have a div that will contain the content. So I'm going to call it div head content. So I'm going to start off with some h1 tags. Then we are going to have h3 tags. After h3 tags, I'm going to have a paragraph tags. Then after paragraph tags, I'm going to use an input type. We want an email. Then the name of it, let me just call it email. I also want an ID which I shall call mail. Then placeholder text, email address. So once we're done with that one, I'll also want a hyperlink which I shall call btn class name. Let me give it a second class name of btn log, and let's drag the contents where it should be. So this is the time now to drag the content. For inside our h tags, we are going to have this text. Then for our h3 tags, Then this is the text that we want for a paragraph text. Then this one was always meant to be here. Then by looking at the design, we have also got this text get started. So this text that I'm going to have here. Let me look at the current output that we have built. Okay, our design looks great. Now is the time to go on to the main. And first of all, I'm going to create a section which I shall call hero. Then inside the section I have left hero. Let's start by having h1 tags, then nextly followed by h2 tags. Okay, now let's drag the coordinate to where it should go. This text that shall go here, as well as this one will go there. Now, is more importantly, I want to have a right image, a div for the right image. So I'm going to call it right hero. So we just get an image that we give that is required by the project. I'm gonna be inside. Let's call it hero 1.png. Case it fails to load, I need an out for the image that shall appear. TVs. Now let's have a look at the design. Or there you can see the text is there and the image is there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to replicate this section called hero, copy it and paste it again, and lastly fourth time. Now let's start replacing our images. From the second hero, we are going to be replacing our images. Okay, just cut this text and bring it to the top. We were going to replace our images. Okay, so this is the text that will appear there. Okay, yes, that's true. Then this is the text, second text that I have to take, and it will appear here. Then for the image, let's call it hero2. .jpg. Then let's come and collect let's come and collect the following text that is here. And paste it there. Just cut and replace there, replace it again, replace it. For the third one, we don't have an image, so we are going to remove this div. Then let's go for the last one. Okay, this text will not, it's not necessary. Let's go for the last one. This is the last one that we want. So let me place it there, and as well as this one, let me replace it as well. Okay, the last image, I need to change it since it's no longer hero 1, it's now hero 3. It's a PNG format. Now we're done with that. We're done with our section. Now it's the time to move to another section which contains the questions. So I'll call it section ask. We'll start off with h1 tags. Okay, so let's collect the text that will go for the h1 tags. This is the text. Then below I'm going to have a div which I shall call ask bottom. Let's create another inner div which I shall call question. So for the question, I'm going to have h4 text. I'm going to use h4 text like this one. Then I'm also going to have some font awesome. Then let's have for the plus sign, this is the addition sign that will appear. And let's set the area hidden to true. Area hidden to true. Let's have a look at how the design now looks like. Yes, we got it. So it's the time to just, okay, I'm going now to replicate everything. Let's replicate, copy it 7 times. Third time. Fourth. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 2 more. And now let's drag the content to where it should go. Let me just remove this unnecessary spacing. This will help me. The first question goes to weight. Then the next question goes inside the next following. Then the next question, let's drag it to where it should go. It's going there. Then the next question, how can I cancel The next question, what can I watch on Netflix? And the next question, is Netflix good for kids? Yeah, that is the last question. Let's save our changes and let's look at how everything now looks like inside our browser. There we've got the questions. So after this, I'm now going up. I have to put also a div reg for the inputs. As you can see, is required by the design. Right at the bottom, I need this div reg, so I'm just going to copy it right direct from our header. Is the head from the header. Okay, there it is. I need to copy it. So just copy it, then we come inside there. Let's create this. Let's call it class name div reg. Then let's have, yes, we have pasted the div reg, but if you're looking for the design, I have to create a, this text has to be also included. So I'm going to put it inside the h3 text. Then let's have, okay, the text going there. Then let's, okay, this is the text that will, the email address is the text that will be here. So we can look at the design and let's look at the progress that we have made. There you can see the progress that I'm making. So it's now time to go for the footer. For the footer, inside the footer, I'm going to have, let me give the class name for the footer. I'll call it footer. And then right from the footer, we're going to start off by having a paragraph. And drag the content for the paragraph. After that one, I'm going to set a div for the footer row columns. Now let's have in an ordered list, and inside the listings I will have hyperlinks. Okay, so I'm going to have to duplicate these listings about 4 times. 2, 3, 4. So after that one, let me duplicate, because how many columns we have by the design. Let's look at, we've got 4 columns, so I'm just going to duplicate the unordered listing to them to create 4. Now is the time to drag the contents to where it should go. So let me copy the first 4. Okay, the first 4, let's place them there, and let's just drag to where it should go. I needed this help center to be account media. Sorry, this, yeah, like here. Then center investor. Then the next one, I need the next 4. Yeah, I hope I'm getting everything okay. Let's start. Jobs, drag jobs, then ways to watch, terms of use. Let's drag the next 4. Okay, drag the term cookie, drag preference, drag the term corporate information, drag it again and place it there. Now let's check the last one. Let's drag contact, let's drag US speed, let's drag this one. So then that means this text was supposed to go on US speed test, yeah, like this one. Let's have a look at how the designer looks from our coding. Yes, there we've got it. So now we're done with this one. So the next thing that I'm going to be looking at is to do CSS styling. So inside of boilerplate, I've already installed some, I've already done some boiler styling, which gave us a black background as well as the color of white. So below the image width, that is where I'm going to start styling. Okay, for start styling, I'll start off with the head. Let's give it a class name. Let's set the width to 100%. Right, let's give it 100%. Position, let's set it to relative. Okay, background, I want the image for the background, so I'm going to use URL. Now it's important to understand that we are using an external file link for CSS. So we're going to start off with the going backward using footsteps, two footsteps. Then you open inside the images folder. Then you say head.jpg. Remember to set it to no repeats and position it at the center. And let's have to cover it all, let's set our image on centering. Let's cover the whole page. When you're done styling up, let me come inside. Let me rename this one to head. Done. Okay, so we renamed this one. Let's save and let's come and reload. Need to check. I have pushed this right at the wrong side. It should come right after the closing bracket, like this one. Then let's reload. Yeah, there you can see the image has been fully loaded. So after that one, we'll come Let me style the head after. Okay, let's set the content to empty, and let's say position absolute. Let's move from the top. I'm gonna move it to 0, and let's move from the left. I'm gonna move it to 0, and we're gonna set the width to 100%. Height, let's set it to 100%, and Z index, let's push it to 1. Then the background, let's set it to RGBA 0, 0. This is the background color that I want. Then let's have a box shadow. I want a box shadow 120 pixels. Let's set it to 100 pixels and 250 pixels with the color of black. 6 times. Insert pixels. Minus 100 pixels, 250 pixels. Now let's have a look at how the designer looks like. They can see I've made it with shader. We're using using our color codes. So after that one, we are now going to style the head top. There is the head top. Position, I'm going to set it to relative. Okay, let's have Z index to 2. Then after Z index, let's push the height to 90 pixels. Then let's have the head top. I'm not targeting the images. Width, I'm going to set it to 140 pixels. Position, absolute. Let's move it from the top 50%. Then left, I want to push it, I want it to 0. Then we want the transform, translate, go for along the x-axis 40%, then along the y-axis let's push it up minus 50%. Then head top, I'm not styling the hyperlinks. Position, absolute. Let's push it to the top 50%, and to the right side 0. Then let's save transform, translate, minus 60%, and minus 50%. Now after that one, I'm going to start the head content. Let's start off with the position relative, uh, margin top and bottom 0, then left and right 26%, and let's save along the Z index to display flex flex okay, flexi direction. Let's make it column top to bottom, then justify the content. We set it to center, text align center, then align items center again, then margin from the top. I'm going to give it 9 rems. Let's have a look at how the project, yes, there you can see how the project now looks like. Okay, now let's continue inside our styling. Nextly, I'm now going to target the H1, H2, H3 head content, H1 text. Let's have font weight. I'm going to set it to a higher of 700. Font size, I'm going to set it 45 pixels. Then margin 30 pixels left and right. Maximum width, the H1 text. So after setting the font size, I'm going to set the margin to 0 and bottom 0, then left and right 30 pixels. Then maximum width, I'm going to set it to maximum width, I'm going to set it to 800 pixels. Then line height, let's give it 74.5 pixels. When I target that one, I want to style the H3 text. I'll just have to set the color to white, then also font size, I'm going to give it 25 pixels, margin top and bottom 16 pixels, then side is left and right 0. Now I want to style the head content. And style the paragraph text, font size 19.2 pixels, font weight 300, padding to the top, I'm going to push it from the top 0.5 rems. Then padding bottom 1 rem. Now we're going to start. Let's have a look at the design, how our project now looks like. If I reload it, there you can see. So nextly, I'm going to target the input, it content input. For the input, let's set the position to absolute. Then from the left side, I'll fix it to the left side 0. Then bottom, let's move it with -8%. Width, I'm going to give it 454 pixels. Height, 3 rems. Font size, 1 rem. Padding to the left, 0.5. We're done with that one. Now let's start copy it and paste it. Now let's set it display in line block. Background color, I'm just going to use a var character, and as we said, we're going to use the primary coding. Let's set the color of our text. Let's set the color of our text to white. Then the padding, this is very important. Bottom and top 5.5 rems. Then left and right, I want to set it to 1.2 rems. Font size, I'm just going to set it to 1 rem. Text align, center, border, none, cursor, let's give it a pointer, border radius, okay, this is the correct spelling for the border radius. Let's give it 2 pixels. Then margin to the right side, I want 0.5 frames. Then outline, let's remove the outline by setting it to none. Then box shadow, I also want just to create a box shadow. It's going to 0.5 pixels, 3 pixels. Then we use the RGBA, and let's reduce the opacity to 0.545. If you reload the page, there you see. Okay, now I want to set the pattern on hover. I'll use the opacity to 0.9. Now let's collect the second. Okay, I want to collect the second class name. This is the second class name that I want. Let's get it and just paste it there and say border radius 5 pixels. Yes, I've set the border radius. Now let's save the head content. I'm going to style this button. Position, I'll set it to absolute. Then to the right side, I want it to move to 0. Then from the bottom, let's move it -8%. Then let's set the padding 0.5 frames top and bottom, and 1.22 frames sideways. Now let's go for the font size. I'm just going to use 1.5 frames. Then text transform, I'm going to use the uppercase. Then height, I'm going to set it to 36 pixels. Width, let's give it 14 frames. 14 frames. Let's have a look at how the design now looks like. There you can see with the position absolute, we have positioned it right at the better to look as close to the solution as perfect. When we're done with that one, now it's the time to go to the sections. So I'm going to start by styling the, remember we used one almost the euro class name multiple times, so it's not gonna be a problem. Let's display it flex. When you start one, you're going to start so many sections. So let's set the color to white. Background color black. Border bottom, 8 pixels solid gray color that looks with a 222 chord. Then border at the top, let me copy this one and just paste it there. Padding 4 rems, 4 rems. Then after, let's have a look at, since we have saved our changes, we don't need to reload the page. There you can see it's coming out perfectly, but we still got some changes to make. So let me copy this one and let's style the left 0 div. To do that, I'm just going to say justify content to the center. Then also I'm going to use a padding. This will push it up from the top, 17 rems and 0. Let's have a look at, oh, there you can see it's taking shape. Now we are going for the questions section, so we are going to use the class name ask, paste, background color black. For the ask section, we are just going to, let's copy this class name for the hero and just place them there, and let's make some amendments. We are going to start with the background color. We set it to black. Then on the color of the font, yes, it's on white, which is okay. Display flex, let me add flex direction to the column. Then justify the content to center. justify content to center, font size to 2 rems, then align items, and let's align the items to the center. Then the padding, I'm going to set it to 3 rems. Then the border at the bottom is okay as it is. Let me save my changes and okay, this is good. But now we want to go inside as not close to the solution as possible. So we're going to style the ask bottom, this class name, so that our solution can be made look more beautiful and as close as. So to do that, I'm going to say control paste, then I'm going to set the width to 70%, font size, I'm going to give it 2 rems. So now we are going to style the question. Okay, so for the question, now we are going to set a different color background color, which is light gray, using this color code 30 and let's save the text. Let's increase the font weight to 400. Then margin bottom, let's set it to 5 pixels. Width, let me set it to 100%. Height, let's set it to 2 rems. Then the font size, I'm going to set it to 2 rems. Display, flex, justify content space between, then padding, let me give it 3 rems all over, and we see the changes that we have applied. Oh, there they are. You see how everything looks close to the solution. Now I'm going to start the next one, which is this one, which is the class name bridge. So to do that, let's set the margin. I'm going to set the margin to all over 2 rems. Justify content to the center. Then text align to the center. Then display, flex it direction. So I want to set it along the y-axis. Let's have a look at how there it is. You can see the changes that we have applied. So nextly, I'm going to style the first of all, I'm like, as you can see, from the design, the input and the bar sign are not top and bottom, are not sideways. They are like top and bottom. So to move this one inside the top and bottom, I'm going to have to create another new div which I shall call input 2. Okay, let me just okay let's drag everything inside this div. Yeah, then we start by styling this. Input 2, let's set display flex, and then justify content to the center. Then let's have a margin of all over 2 rems. Now is the time to let me look before I go. Let me, oh, there you see the text is now side by side, the input and the button they're now side by side. So it's the time to style the footer. So to style the footer, I'm just going to collect the footer name, then let's set the maximum width to 70%, not so that doesn't cover the whole screen, and let's set the margin top and bottom 1 ram, then sideways auto, overflow I want to set it to auto. Okay, overflow auto. Then font size 1,5 rems. Then it's the time to style the footer as well as the hyperlinks that I found there. So I want to change the color to super white. I'm going to use this color code. Let's have a look. There you see this gray color, like, then to now let's target the paragraph. Margin bottom, from the bottom I want to push it to 1,5 frames. Then let's target the nextly I'm going to target the footer columns. Because it has to be close to perfection as possible. So to do that, let's display them grid, and let's reload and let's take a look at. There you see we display them in grid. Then I want them to have columns, so I'm going to use grid template columns. Grid template columns. The columns that I want them to be 4. So let's say repeat 4 columns with a width of 1 frame, 1 fara. So if you reload, there you can see we've got four columns. So now let me put a grid gap, grid gap in between of 2 rems. If you reload, there you can see. But before I go, I want to style the footer listings using a line height of 2,4. Now let's have a look at, or there we've increased the line height. So guys, we have completed this challenge. As you can see, the project has been completed successfully. Thank you for watching.